Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books. Well, if you remember, about 2 weeks ago, we did a video called Test Screening Disaster. Test screening scores are abysmal for Indiana Jones 5, and they don't know what to do about it because they had a couple different options, a couple different endings. None of them are working with the screening audiences. That's a big problem, and of course, there are test screenings for expensive, big movies that they're going to spend a lot of money promoting and marketing. Sometimes they have a test screening and they decide not to put as much money into the movie because they realize it's kind of a lost cause. Also, sometimes they decide, listen, this is a great movie, we're going to spend more money on it. They have to have test screenings. The director said, oh, no, these rumors about test screenings can't possibly be true. Of course, the test screenings are going on, and it's probably true. Let's get into this article, though, from Cosmic Book News. There's been an update to this story. That's why we're doing this video. Indiana Jones 5, worse than thought, reveals the test screening. It's claimed that Kathleen Kennedy is going to destroy Indy just like she did with Star Wars. Before we get into this article, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up when you like it. You guys are great. The channel is growing. I really appreciate you. Indiana Jones 5 is claimed to be worse than thought according to test screenings, which would of course mean that director James Mangold is fibbing just a tiny bit about the flick. Why would the director of a movie like Indiana Jones 5 put out counter narratives that aren't true? Well, that's what movie studios do. The director is someone that doesn't want a negative buzz to be going around about the movie because a negative buzz would prevent people from seeing the movie. Also, there may be secrets that he doesn't want revealed until the big release of the movie. Mangold recently shot down claims about Indiana Jones 5 having test screenings involving Phoebe Waller-Bridge replacing Harrison Ford that surfaced from YouTuber Doomcock. However, Doomcock claims were backed up by the Daily Mail, separate online publication. A lot of people respect the Daily Mail. Now, a 4chan post offers more of the same, with Doomcock offering the following ending being 100% right, and that Kathleen Kennedy wants to ruin Indiana Jones just as she did with Star Wars. Now, from Kathleen Kennedy's point of view, this isn't ruining. It's just kind of updating him for the new society that we live in. However, to the rest of us that actually liked Indiana Jones and know what the character is supposed to be and supposed to be about, we consider that to be ruining Indiana Jones. It said a few different endings were screened for audiences, all featuring Phoebe Waller-Bridge replacing Harrison Ford, with the following being the worst ending, and that is the ending Kathleen Kennedy wants to go with. It's also said Kennedy and the studio have been butting heads over the ending to Indiana Jones 5, as Kennedy wants the following ending, but the studio has said they don't want to do it. What happens remains to be seen. But a big problem could be that Bob Iger is back, who also backs Kennedy. So just like Disney's Star Wars and what is now happening with Kevin Feige's Marvel, Indiana Jones 5 could be next to turn to dust as well. This could be spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, you don't want to hear it. What do the Indiana Jones 5 rumors actually have to say? So following Mangold's shooting down the rumor, someone claiming to have been present at an Indiana Jones 5 test screening wrote up the following details and posted them to 4chan with the title Indy 5 sucks and James Mangold is a liar. Also, Matt, the author, has contacted his own little birds, but he hasn't been able to find out if there actually have been screenings. His buddy signed up for screenings recently and saw Creed 3. Look, there's no earthly reason for the studio not to have test screenings of a movie. They need to know what people respond to and what they don't respond to. And especially if you're trying to do something unique with the brand. You don't want to ruin the brand, obviously. If you were making these movies, you would have test screenings. And you'd be right to do it. Here's what we're finding out from 4chan test screening claims. Indiana Jones 5 has had a test screening and someone attended one. The reason they're claiming it didn't take place is because everyone at the showing hated it. That's in reference to the director. Marion appears toward the beginning of the movie and encourages Indy to come out of retirement for one last adventure. Mutt is mentioned, but not seen in the scene. Sala appears for one scene. You can see him wearing a fez on the right of the pic. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is playing Helena Brody, the granddaughter of Marcus Brody, and is quite possibly one of the most annoying characters put to screen. We wouldn't be surprised if she wrote her own lines. She constantly lectures Indy about his privilege. Harrison Ford looks like he doesn't want to be there for the entire movie. Mads Mikkelsen is playing a younger version of Tot from the first film, and he does a decent job. Antonio Banderas is probably the best part of the movie, and that's probably the only reason his character's death has had any impact. He sacrificed himself to save Indy and Helena right before they get sent back in time. The main MacGuffin is the golden clock that's the key to an ancient time portal. A group of neo-Nazis is trying to track it down before Indy can. First, they go to ancient Rome for a bit, but they go back through and end up in 1933. A significant chunk of the movie is set in 1933, and the main trio is old Indy, Helena, and younger Indy. In their screening, the movie ends with young Indy sacrificing himself to save Helena, causing old Indy to fade away, just like Marty does in Back to the Future. Helena picks up his hat, and the movie ends with a montage of her in iconic Indiana Jones scenes set to the John Williams score. Do you think they would do something like that? Absolutely, I think so. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The movie also had a Helena will return thing at the end, sort of like what Marvel movies do. Overall, a 2 out of 10. I'd rather watch Crystal Skull 50 times than sit through this atrocity again. I hope Disney does some serious reshoots or just cans the movie entirely. And in our other video on these related rumors, it was suggested that Disney was considering possibly just releasing it quietly to streaming so that they wouldn't have to deal with the audience responses. Now, if any of these rumors are true, if any of this content is true, you can certainly understand why the director would be a little bit nervous about people making comments on the screenings. Before this movie is released, whether it goes to streaming or it goes to theaters, it's extremely likely, of course, they're going to have some test screenings to see what people's responses are. If the responses really are this bad, that's the end of this character if they release this movie. I certainly hope this isn't going to be what happens. Let me know what you think of all this, though, in the comments below. Please let me know, do you think that any of this could be true? Knowing what Disney has done to Star Wars, knowing what Disney has done to Marvel, it certainly seems like it could be true. Please be sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up when you like it, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.